Hi, this story is for people that think they don't have any intuition, and I would just like for you to look deeper in your life when you just knew that you knew. And a lot of us have stories from our past, and they might not be big stories like the one I'm going to tell you now, but just look for little ways that you knew something, and how your choices in life have served you very well. We all have intuition. This is Devorah Stern, and thank you for joining me during this time period. So, a long time ago, when I was 21, I was dancing and drinking alcohol at a club with friends, and we didn't know about the designated driver then. The person that had the least amount of alcohol to drink was the one that drove us home. And I remember exactly, we were going north on Martin Luther King Boulevard. It was called Grove Street at the time. And I was directly behind the driver. The driver was a male. And I said, "Stop the car." And they were just all laughing. No, Devorah, we're going home." I go, no, you need to stop the car." And they're like, "Oh, she's had too much to drink." And they kept on going and kept on going. I said, "No, you need to stop the car. I smell smoke." And they were like, "What does that have to do with anything, Devorah?" And I had to get really agitated and demanded to the driver, I said, "If you don't stop this car right away, I'm going to jump over the seat, commandeer the steering wheel. It's going to be really messy. You all need to stop the car right away, and we need to turn around." And they said, "But it's a long time since you said stop the car." I said, "That's okay. I will worry about where we're going." So they made a U-turn and drove about 2 miles back, and I finally said, "Stop right here." And it was a big, huge, old, solid wood apartment building. It actually had 3 stories. The bottom story was partway submerged, but it was quite a tall wooden apartment building. And I said, "I smell smoke." And they were like, "Well, we don't smell smoke." And I instructed one of the girls to go to a payphone where you used to have to use a dime, no cell phones at the time. And I said, "Call the operator, get the fire department." She just instinctively knew to listen to me. And then I told the other people in the car, start picking up rocks, start picking up parts of bricks, whatever you can. We are going to break out the windows of that apartment building, and we are going to alert the people inside the building so they don't die in the fire. And they're looking at me, "There is no fire, Devorah." And I go, "Just listen to me." And they would not throw the bricks and break the windows. So they were collecting things, and I was breaking as many windows as I can, trying to alert people in the apartment building that the building was going to go on fire. So finally, an elderly black woman comes out in her nightgown with a broom as her weapon. She thought we were white vigilantes, and she's yelling and screaming at us. And I said, no, ma'am. This building is going to ignite on fire. This building is on fire, and we need to save all the occupants. We need to get them out as quickly as possible. This is a 100% wooden building. It's going to go up in smoke. Let's start with the second floor. Let's get everybody out of the second floor." And she was like, "I'm going to go in and get your number and your address, because I'm going to make you pay for the windows in this building. That's the only thing I'm going to do. There's something wrong with you, and I need to get back to sleep." Well, I said, no, ma'am. "Can you smell the smoke?" And she said, "I can kind of smell a little something." I'm like, "Hurry up, go get the people out of the fire." She goes, "I'm getting pen and paper. I want to know who you are, and I want you to be responsible for fixing the windows." Well, before she was finished getting up the staircase, a huge 3-story flame came out of the back of the building, and she saw it, and she goes, "Oh my God, you're right." And I go, "Ma'am, please, get the people out of the building." And I continued to break the windows now on the first floor to wake the people up. Well, all kinds, I didn't see any fellows, but women and children came out of the building. About 30 people came out of the building. Before they were done coming out, the entire back of the building was engulfed in flames. This was a major fire. I asked the girl if she, in fact, called the fire department. She said she had. And then I told our friends, listen, let's just get out of here. There are going to be 3 or 4 engines here. All the traffic is going to be blocked up. Let's get out of here. And the guy said, no, we want to stop and wait. And another girl said, she knew about the fire. She knows about the traffic jam. Let's just leave. So I didn't even remember the story. My sister had to remind me the story. It's a pretty dramatic story, but I was complaining to my sister, who's very psychic, wow, I wish I could get things consistently like you do. And she said, you have been extremely psychic in your life many, many times. And so looking back on my life, I can pull these stories, and you can do it too. Intuition is like any muscle. If you can train to learn how to dance, if you can train for long distance walking, even if you can't train for that, if you could train to play chess on a computer, you could learn how to develop your intuition. I did it, and I've been fairly blocked. I had quite a significant amount of childhood abuse, and what happens is you go out of your body, and that's probably why I feel like my intuition comes and goes and fades and wanes. But anybody can do this. You can learn how. I can certainly help you. So intuition, everybody's got it. It's like a muscle. Work it and develop it. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you want to learn more, go to DevorahStern.com.